Like all great athletes, each of us has to be committed to improvement. If we want to be successful, our underlying thought must be, how can I improve today? I love woodworking and pen making. In each case, when I have done a project, I have pursued excellence in what I was doing. It is primarily because I love the finished product. It amazes me how much improved the final project usually is than the originally attempted model. It should be the same in our lives. Today's product at day's end should be an improvement over Mondays or Tuesdays or Wednesdays. So how can we continue to improve in our quest to be our best? I didn't say the best, I said our best. Here are 3 tips for our self-improvement. First, live with urgency. Though I am speaking of a general principle of life, it occurs to me that there is a biblical principle involved here. In John 9:4, Jesus taught us that we must quickly carry out the tasks assigned to us by the one who sent us. The night is coming, and then no one can work. Whatever God has assigned to us as our purpose in life, we are to do it with a sense of urgency, knowing that our time on earth is limited. I see here a general interpretation that urges us to do everything we are assigned of God to do as if it were the last time we were going to do it. How would we live if we knew this were our last day of life? What would we try to make better if this were our last opportunity to do it? Today we need to make each move we make as if it were our last one. Applied, that means each sale, each decision, each charitable display, each test we take, each relational experience, each helpfulness, each change, each impression, each deal, each use of time, each loving deed, each expression of faith, and each servant task. Make each of them as if it were our last. Remember Da Vinci's quote, "I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. So live with urgency." Second, look to our uniqueness. It is time for us to make a break with the norm, the mediocre, the crowd. There is more to be achieved than they are going to or want to achieve. We are in the position we're in because we are unique and special. We were made that way. Paul said in Ephesians 2:10, "No, we neither make nor save ourselves. God does both the making and the saving. He creates each of us by Christ Jesus to join him in the work he does, the good work he has gotten ready for us to do. Work we had better be doing." God creates with uniqueness. He is so incredibly vast in his knowledge and creative ability that he doesn't need to repeat himself. Because God has created us in this uniqueness, we should lift our view to a higher standard. We are different in the positive sense of the word. Act like it. We have a stewardship responsibility to be all we've been uniquely made to be. Stand out and be different. Never be mediocre. Stretch out toward our potential. Maximize ourselves. It really takes no more expenditure of energy and effort than trying to avoid our destiny, hide in the midst of mediocrity, and escape our calling. We should never settle for less than God's best for our lives. When we have made our last play on the field of human endeavor, we should have done so saying, "I gave all I had to give." It is just as criminal trying to be someone we are not as it is to be counterfeit money. So we must accept the unique way God has made us, celebrate it, and show our gratitude to him by looking to it and letting it inform us of our next move. Look to our uniqueness. And third, learn to bounce back. Life is not all a bed of roses, as we often say. Successful persons do not always avoid the thorns or the potholes or the abruptly applied instruments that are used to knock them down. But a successful person does learn to bounce back. Somewhere I read, if everything you do works, you are not trying hard enough. So if we are trying, There will be some opportunities for us to bounce back. General George Patton said, "The test of success is not what you do when you're on top. Success is how high you bounce when you hit bottom." Resiliency is required of those who aspire to succeed. Life will deal us enough blows and produce enough practice for us to get good at it. We need to learn how to bounce. If we are at the bottom today, we may need to seek spiritual guidance through a caregiver, a counselor, a professional person that may be needed to help to deal with depression and related issues attendant after one is knocked down. After he hit rock bottom in his life, King David said in Psalm 32:1, "Count yourself lucky, how happy you must be. You get a fresh start. Your slate's wiped clean." God does that when we make mistakes, and He also lifts us to new beginnings when we are knocked down by the circumstances not of our own making. The key to bouncing back is to have a relationship with God. In Him there is the kind of solid bedrock that we need to be resilient. If we are grounded by faith in Him, we will bounce back from the stresses of life quicker. We will bounce back from pain or grief or anything else faster. Our attitude will determine our bounce factor. Charles Swindoll was right. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, than what other people think or say or do. Our attitudes can hold us back, or they can hoist us to new heights of success. Check your attitude and see if it is in sync with what God has told you about yourself in His Word. Improve your play today by living with urgency, looking to your uniqueness, and learning to bounce back.